Okay, so let's talk about the relationship that has literally split the internet in two. We're talking about Selena Gomez and music producer Benny Blanco. They're one of pop culture's newest couples. But wow, their public behavior has sparked an absolutely massive debate. Today, we're going to unpack exactly why this pairing has become so polarizing. But here's what's so wild about this. The backlash isn't just coming from the usual places, like tabloids or critics. Nope. A huge chunk of Selena's own, super devoted fan base is openly, publicly begging her to end this relationship. So what on earth is going on that would cause such an extreme reaction? Well, you can pretty much trace this entire firestorm back to one single place, Benny Blanco's new podcast. A series of, let's just say, shocking moments on that show lit a match that has turned into a massive controversy. So the whole thing kicked off when Benny's first podcast episode went viral. And yeah, for all the wrong reasons. He actually showed off his dirty feet to the camera and then farted right into the microphone. For a lot of people watching, it was just a very confusing and pretty off-putting way to launch a show.
Okay, so you'd think that would be the end of it, right? But what really sent things into overdrive was Selena's reaction. Instead of just ignoring all the criticism, on a later episode, she leaned in. I mean, literally. Right in the middle of a conversation, she just bent down and kissed his feet on camera. Fans, critics, everyone was just completely baffled.
And this quote from a viewer really sums up that uncomfortable feeling a lot of people had online. The general vibe was just confusion, and for many, it was straight of disgust. It felt like they were being forced to watch something super private and frankly really strange. But here's the thing. The Dirty Feet incident, it wasn't just a one-off. It became pretty clear pretty quickly that this was all part of a larger pattern of just bizarre behavior and way over-the-top stories being shared on the podcast that had fans getting really concerned. And look, the crucial thing here is just the sheer number of these weird moments piling up. I mean, besides the foot thing, there was a comment about Benny supposedly only changing his underwear once a week. Then in another clip, he was relentlessly pushing a friend to eat a pickle, to the point where the guy almost threw up on camera. And he told this super graphic story about a friend peeing in his mouth during a childhood squirt gun fight. You know, one of these things alone, maybe you brush it off. But all of them together, it started painting a picture of a show that just seemed to thrive on chaos and shock value. So what was the result of all these stories? Well, the couple got slapped with a really harsh label online, the biohazard couple. And that term, it really just perfectly summarizes the public feeling that emerged, that their entire brand had become all about being unhygienic and oversharing kind of gross stuff. So no surprise here, this has caused a massive split right down the middle of Selena Gomez's fan base. It's like you're either completely horrified by what's going on, or you're defending her right to be happy no matter how weird it looks from the outside. The fandom is basically in two camps now. On one side, you've got the critics. They're calling this a humiliation ritual, saying Benny is just using her for attention. And then on the other side, you've got the defenders, who see a woman who's finally found something real and is just telling her haters to get lost. This quote right here, it really nails the critics' main argument. The thinking is that Selena, who is a global superstar, is demeaning herself for his professional gain, that there has to be some kind of transactional reason for her to be part of these kinds of public stunts. But then, here's the complete counter-argument. Her defenders see that exact same foot-kissing moment, not as humiliation, but as an act of defiance. From their perspective, she knew exactly what she was doing. She was sending a very loud, very clear message to everyone that she just does not care what they think, and she's doubling down on her guy. And this, of course, brings us to the most cynical theory of all. What if none of this is by accident? What if all these bizarre moments are actually a calculated, maybe a little chaotic, but still calculated PR strategy? To even begin to wrap your head around this theory, you have to get the sheer scale of Selena's fame. This number, 415 million, that's how many people follow her on Instagram. The kind of exposure she brings is just unimaginable. It's a level of promotion you literally cannot buy. And she used that power directly for him. To promote his brand new podcast, Selena added all 415 million of her followers to her private close friends Instagram story. It was this huge, unprecedented, and totally free promotional explosion for his new project. And right as all that promotion was happening, the podcast just happened to deliver the perfect media bombshell.
While they were going through her DMs on the show, they stumbled upon a message from a major A-list celebrity who tried to hit her up. And of course, that generated a whole new flood of headlines.
The show naturally bleeped out the name, which left the entire internet buzzing with one single question. Which massive celebrity tried to date Selena Gomez? Well, it did not take long for the internet detectives to get on the case. Based on Benny's lips moving behind the bleep and the length of the sound, the consensus is that the mystery man was Captain America himself, Chris Evans. A revelation that is guaranteed to get people talking and, more importantly, listening to that podcast. So, where does this all leave us? Is this a story about real, maybe unconventional love? Or is it all just a messy public spectacle designed from the ground up to get clicks and attention? And it's really important to say that it's not all just bizarre antics. Inside all that same chaos on the podcast, there were apparently moments of real tenderness. Specifically, when the conversation turned to Selena's mental health, Benny was described as being incredibly patient and supportive. And that brings us to the central problem here. How do you square these two realities? Every single thing they do can be seen in two completely opposite ways. It's either a humiliation ritual, or it's a cute inside joke. It's bizarre behavior, or it's a genuinely supportive partnership. It's a savvy PR move, or it's just messy, authentic love playing out for the whole world to see. And ultimately, that's the question we're all left with, isn't it? It makes you wonder what modern love even looks like under the microscope of intense fame. Is this just what real love is in the bizarre world of celebrity? Or have we all just been watching a very convincing and very strange performance? The real answer? Well, it's probably somewhere in the middle.